Okay, moving on to business from the Board of Supervisors. First item there is consider change order number 8 with Merit Construction in the amount of $17,847.82 for the GuideLink Center.
Move approval.
Second, Green
Second
Douglas.
by Porter.
It's been moved by Hayden and second by Green Douglas. Any discussion? Roll call.
Reddick,
Aye.
Hayden,
Aye.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Green Douglas.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, item B, consider Board of Health recommendation on face coverings. And I thought perhaps the place to start with this might be with you, Janet, if you don't mind.
Sure. At yesterday's work session, there was discussion about this, and at yesterday's work session, there was discussion about the recommendation from the Board of Health for the supervisors to pass a resolution stating that people shall wear or should wear mask coverings and mask or face coverings, in public places, buildings, etc., with clarifying what the exemptions would be, that kind of thing. There was discussion yesterday at the work session about making it a shall. I just want to make it clear that the Board of Supervisors does not have the same authority that a mayor does and that cities have regarding making things enforceable through a resolution. There would have to be an ordinance. I think the best way, if there is a desire to actually try to enforce wearing a face covering in public.
We can barely hear you, Janet.
Sorry. Okay, I'll try to speak up and speak closer to the microphone. The authority of cities is different than the authority of counties. Mayors have different authorities than the county does. For you to adopt or pass a resolution saying that people shall wear face coverings does not have the enforcement that's something that a city might do in an emergency like this. It does not make it a simple misdemeanor. It basically is unenforceable. If you wanted to proceed, I think the best route would be to talk to the Board of Health and have them look at passing an ordinance that would then have to be approved by the Board of Supervisors to require this. But passing a resolution such as this is not something that is enforceable.
I did not hear that last part. Could you repeat it, please?
Yes, passing a resolution like this is not something that is enforceable. It does not create a simple misdemeanor like in the mayor's resolution for the city of Iowa City. It does not have the ability to be enforced with any kind of a criminal penalty or civil penalty. That would have to be done through an ordinance, and I think the best way to do that would be an ordinance through the Board of Health that would then be approved by the Board of Supervisors.
So obviously the Board of Health has the authority to do this.
Right, as long as, again, it's not inconsistent with what the governor or the legislature has done, which I think at this point there's an argument that it would be consistent and not inconsistent with the governor's proclamation.
Okay.
So Janet, then, to be very specific, if you were advising us in terms of how to move forward, you would say, don't do anything today, wait for the Board of Health to pass something and then pass essentially the same thing that the Board of Health
Or
passed.
approve what the Board of Health.
Approve what the Board of Health
Right,
passes.
right. I mean, you could certainly pass something today encouraging everybody to wear one. I do think that there's probably some value in a statement from any elected official or any board, such as the Board of Supervisors, saying people should be wearing masks. It's a very important thing, and I should put on my face shield as I say this, although I don't know if you could hear me quite as well. But I mean, I think that there is some benefit to the public of just expressing how important it is to wear some kind of a face covering or face protection to protect individuals as well as others in the community, especially as we've been seeing the numbers increase. I just want to be clear, you do not have the enforcement authority under a resolution such as this.
Well, I would really like to do that, pass the resolution, encouraging people, but then taking it the next step and working with the Board of Health and have them do the ordinance. We pass the ordinance, and then it has some teeth to it as far as a misdemeanor.
Hey, this is Janelle. what's in our packet, is that been proposed by, someone drafted that?
That is basically language taken from Dave Coach, and Kelly put it into a format.
Okay, so as that resolution that's in our packet, what I would like to do is, if you come down to, they're not numbered, but, well, I guess it is, page 2, the 1, 2, 3, the fourth whereas, I would just like to strike that and then pass this resolution and then ask the Board of Health to pass an ordinance or a recommendation for an ordinance and do both simultaneously.
The fourth from the top or the fourth from the bottom?
It's the fourth from the top on the second page. It says, whereas in the event of subdelegation of authority, etc. Because what that says is we're not actually passing this. We'll pass it when he sub-delegates, and I'm not interested in waiting on leadership from the state government. Did you find that paragraph? Sorry.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Because if we leave that paragraph in, then this resolution isn't even actually passed. It says we would do it in the event that he sub-delegated. So I just think we should strike that, pass this, and then try to get an ordinance done. Be clear on our message. If it's not enforceable, it's not enforceable, but at least it's clear.
I don't have any objection to that paragraph going away. I don't know about others.
Nor do I.
Royce Ann, Lisa?
Well, it seems like kind of in legal or kind of in the legality of it that it's there just to kind of indicate that we don't have the authority, but we already know we don't have the authority, so it's just extraneous words in a way. So I could say bye-bye to it easily.
I have no problem with striking it out.
Okay.
I have a question for Janet. So you are recommending that we wait until the Board of Health passes something. They had this and they just kind of like, they liked it, but they didn't do anything. They didn't take any action. Is there some wording we can do on that last whereas, or not, maybe not there, but something that would indicate that it, I don't know, based upon whether or not they passed it. And I don't know. I'm a little annoyed that we didn't hear these words yesterday. Or if we did, it was not clear to me. But I really want to do something. I think we need to do something. And if we sit around and wait, it's not going to happen. We've seen that. I just feel like we need to take some kind of action. We already know that our ability to enforce it is slim to none. We already know that, without the AG's office, this really doesn't hold enforcement abilities or the level of a mandate. I still think we need to have a resolution. And I think without that statement and then taking out the Board of Health part because they haven't done it yet, so this would be presumptuous to have them in there, and then let's go forward with it.
Yeah, this is Janelle. That's fine with me. Just that whereas that I asked to strike, the next one below just start whereas Johnson County Board of Supervisors.
So what everybody, it sounds like, would like to strike the second to the last recital and strike in the last recital the words Johnson County Board of Health and.
I just want to add for the this is Susie Nearing from the County Attorney's Office. It's my understanding that the Johnson County Board of Health did recommend this resolution. That this is their position. They just haven't passed an ordinance.
Oh, okay. So that paragraph is
but they
correct.
didn't vote on anything.
But they strongly encouraged, correct?
They didn't
But
have it on,
they didn't vote on anything, though.
but they didn't have it on the agenda to vote on it. So they were hamstrung by that. They just recommended it. That was
Well,
all they
Are we
could.
Susie, you-
assuming that they are going to pass it?
But in this case, it doesn't say they passed it, it just says they strongly encourage.
Okay, then I could be okay with it. Let's leave them in.
I just think the Board of Health would love for the resolution to say that they encourage this as well.
And it's all their language.
And,
Right.
and they're the ones who brought this to you. They felt that this was as much as they could do immediately, which is why they recommended this course of action. And so they knew about the legal difficulties regarding, the distinction between an ordinance and a resolution, and they knew that you could move forward on a resolution, and they really wanted to get that unified message out. It's great that the city has moved forward, but it would be, I think my understanding is they still feel very strongly that all the other municipalities and legal entities all send that unified message.
Right. Yeah, again, I support this resolution, and I think that this is the first step in moving forward.
So are we ready to make a motion then?
Does anybody have anything else they want to add before that? I'm not hearing anything, so go ahead.
So I move the resolution mandating the use of face coverings in Johnson County to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19 that is in the packet and amended to remove a paragraph on the second page, the fourth whereas down, that says whereas in the event of subdelegation, that paragraph.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Reddick and seconded by Hayden. Further discussion? Roll call.
Hayden,
Aye.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Green Douglas,
Aye.
Reddick.
Aye.
Motion carries. Susie, thank you for weighing in there. That was helpful.
Sure.